On this Jobs Friday, a story about someone who chucked it all, quitting a good job because he wanted to create games, word games, and he's done so well, making well into six figures these days, that there's a good chance you're familiar with his work. In fact, it might not be too much of a stretch to call him America's wordsmith.
If that's the way, if everyone agrees, everyone has to agree. Okay.
Who looks more puzzled, David Hoyt or these fifth graders? If your answer is David, that's okay. His specialty isn't solving puzzles, it's making them.
I have become the most syndicated puzzle creator in the world. Let's see if I move the B.
In the basement of his Chicago home, starting about 4 a.m. every day, he masterminds Jumble, that icon of word puzzles, syndicated in more than 600 newspapers, reaching about 32 million people every single day. When he's done, there are about 13 others to piece together.
I have Word Roundup, that's in USA Today. Up and Downwards, that's in USA Today.
Not bad for a high school dropout who never went to college. He started trading options in Chicago, did pretty well, but it left him puzzled about his future. He'd noticed a friend was inventing games and making money from it.
I decided that I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to save up a little bit of money, and I'm going to instantly become successful. Well, that didn't quite work out.
He tried peddling this game and that in between part-time jobs for 4 long years. It was a struggle, but his cup-is-half-full attitude eventually paid off.
If I had been successful on my first one, I would have thought that I was much smarter than I actually was. It's like I needed no and then why.
In 1996, he brought a word game into Tribune Media Services, hoping to marry it to their Jumble brand. They bit and turned it into Jumble Plus, but that was just the beginning.
My brain just thought, wow, if they're willing to do this, maybe how about Jumble Crosswords? How about TV Jumble? How about Jumble Brainbusters?
It's no wonder Tribune's VP of licensing, Steve Tippy, is one of Hoyt's biggest fans.
That's a good point. I don't know anyone out there who's made as many versions and iterations of a single word puzzle, Jumble, as he has.
He kept at the various jumbles for 15 years until in 2011, he took over the original when his predecessor retired, teaming with cartoonist Jeff Kanurik to breathe new life into a brand that's been around since the mid-50s. Hoyt's also developed word games for Pat Sajak's brand and now Wordwinder, where players aim to string words all the way across the board. Over beers at an English pub on Chicago's North Side, Hoyt and several friends polished a game they say has sold in the tens of thousands since it came out just last year, at about $20 each.
People have to work together.
The classroom version? That bright idea belongs to an Illinois school teacher who saw their demo at the Chicago Toy and Game Fair last fall. Now, Hoyt and his team are obsessed with finding a way to manufacture it at a cost schools can afford. It's a puzzle yet to be solved.
It cost $800 to make. Teachers have basically demanded that we do this because they're not taking no for an answer, and the kids just love it. So now we have to do this.
Next week, in fact, Hoyt and company plan to begin a Kickstarter campaign to help fund production of the giant-sized Wordwinder. They hope to raise enough cash to get the price down to around $225 for schools.